Hi, my name's Sandra. I was always blessed throughout my life. At age 37, I had some rental properties and some houses in which I made my income, and I had 2 wonderful children. And at age 37, I was introduced to methamphetamines, and from there, everything just went downhill. I was told that they would give me extra energy, so I started taking them, and I just lost all sense of reality. My conscience was gone. I was numb. I didn't even realize at that point that there was even a God. My life just started going downhill. Went through quite a few arrests and 3 raids on my properties. My family actually was involved with one of the raids on my properties, and my kids and everybody had machine guns held to their heads. My mom didn't make it through that. She passed away a week later. It just really affected her, and I bailed out. I continued using more drugs to stay numb so I didn't have to deal with what was going on. I kept using all my assets to bail out, so everything I'd worked for all my life I just was using just to stay out of jail. But without a conscience, I couldn't even see that I was doing wrong. Finally, in 2003, I was arrested and held in jail with no bail out. I was in 23-hour lockdown in just a small cell. I was put on evaluation because they wanted to see what my repeat offenses were all about, with no offenses from the past. So they had me write my autobiography. My brain started coming back around without the drugs in my system, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks what I had done. At that point, I realized that my mom was actually dead. I had no idea where or how my kids were. I got a certified letter there telling me that my properties were all being foreclosed on, and that they were going to have to take my dad and put him into a rest home because I was no longer there to care for him. And I had no way to get a hold of anybody on the outside. I had no control whatsoever. And I started having severe anxiety attacks at that point. My counselor told me that she was going to need to admit me over to the hospital, the prison infirmary, on suicide watch because my condition was just killing me. I was just mentally distraught. I couldn't even fathom what I had even done. So I went to the infirmary, and it was just, I can't even explain what I felt like. It was just this dingy little cell with just one mattress thrown on the floor and a big spotlight on me 24 hours a day. I just sat down on that mattress, and I just did not know what to do. And as I sat down, I looked at my feet, and I started thanking God for my toes and my feet and my legs, and just this great peace came over me. It was like, oh gosh, it was just, I felt so peaceful, and the more I thanked God, the more peace I felt. I was happy as could be, just sitting there on the floor. And I oh, I begged God just to come into my life and to stay. Please don't leave. I don't ever want you to leave. And from there, it's like miracle after miracle started happening. At that point, a guard came walking in, and he told me that it was my lucky day and that I'd been released back to my original cell. And I've never been so excited to go back to my little 23-hour lockdown cell. And as I was going back there, it hit me that there was a Bible there in my room. And I had picked it up a few times, but I just couldn't wait to get back to my room to read that Bible. And I got some more good news that I was being released from the prison. They evaluated me, and I started making such a change that they could see that I was salvageable. I didn't need to be committed to the prison, and they sentenced me into a halfway house. Several miracles happened there. First of all, I was able to finally call and contact somebody, and what I realized is that while God was restoring everything about me from inside the prison, I mean everything from my physical to mental to spiritual, he was just totally restoring my life. And while he was doing that, he had everything safe for me on the outside. I found out that my mother-in-law had my kids safe and sound. My dad was getting the attention that he needed, the hospital care that he needed. I found out that my properties were all bulldozed with everything that I ever owned, and I even realized that was a blessing, because God wouldn't ever have me go back there, with the people that were hanging around there, and he wanted me to start my life fresh, and he wouldn't have me go back there. It's like all the people that loved God just stepped right in. I had nothing, and so I really started from scratch, but it wasn't hard at all. It's like everything I needed was handed right to me, and I wouldn't change anything that I've been through because of the relationship that I have with God now. And he walks with me daily. I'm blessed. I am so blessed. He's restored, and then some, the things that I had before. I see that everything that happens is for my good. The things that I might want, if I don't get them, it wasn't for my good. And I just trust in God completely. And the peace is it's irreplaceable. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I've got my 2 children back. Life is awesome. God's awesome.